Hey, beautiful people, welcome back. Kamina the Koach here. I decided to share my beautiful sunrise with you here in amazing Yangon, Myanmar. Um, like I said when I first got here, if my energy seems different and better, it's because it totally is. um, I will say that even when I'm not happy, I am at peace and I have joy. That my energy definitely vibrates at different frequencies when I am feeling happier. So, which is the nature of the beast, I suppose. So that, excuse me, really early in the morning here. That brings me right into the topic of the video today, and it's not the easiest thing to talk about because I know a lot of us have situations like this, and I know a lot of us maybe even have situations like this that are blood family. So, this is a little bit of a sensitive topic. So, if you've been following along for any period of time, you've seen me talk about mirror neurons. So, I really am quite spiritual, but a lot of my spirituality draws on science and research. So, there is real truth in that we take on what the people around us are putting out. You know that couples' heartbeats, it's called synchronicity, couples' heartbeats and brain waves will synchronize with each other. Women that are around each other quite a bit, their cycles will sync up. So when you're with someone quite often who is perpetually negative, your neurons in your brain will eventually, and for some of us who are more sensitive, change, mimic the patterns of that person. So, I've definitely done a video on this before, but I decided to elaborate on this one. So, some of us are introverts, so it's quite easy for us, or easier for us to guard ourselves. So, being an introvert doesn't necessarily mean that you don't like people. Being an introvert means that you recharge when you're alone. You need time to process, and a lot of times you need time to process new information. You need alone time, you need quiet time, still time to process new information. People who are genuine, who are true extroverts, need the interaction to process information. They actually function better when they are with people. So, for people who are true extroverts, not ambiverts, people who like people but need a lot of alone time, people who need a lot of alone time are in truth still introvert at their core because they need the alone time to process. So, but if you're a true extrovert, that means you need to be with people to process. You recharge from being around people. So, it can pose a real problem when you're not surrounded by perpetually positive people. What do you do with that? And especially in a work environment where you can't say, okay, you're not positive, I can't be around you, or in a family environment where you can't exercise a person from your life. What do you do? So, not as hard for extroverts as it is for introverts. A lot of introverts are highly non confrontational. People really don't like conflict. But so, extroverts, I'd like to give you a little bit of advice on how to protect your energy from the negative people around you, because you actually need to be around people to process, and you need to be around people to draw energy, but you need to be able to protect yourself as well. So, here's the thing: when somebody starts speaking negatively around you, so the best thing you can do is just not acknowledge it and change the subject. So, wow, it's really raining hard today. Our This weather sure is yucky outside. Um, so this weekend there is this great play. Do you want to go? So, talk about really deflecting, changing the energy, or possibly even, oh goodness. So, I have to go right now, and I will talk with you a little bit later. And you do all of this with a smile on your face because you're doing it in love. You're doing it in love for yourself. If you do this enough, just deflecting, not saying, I don't need your negativity around me. If you just deflect enough, eventually people are going to pick up on that. You're not willing to receive that negativity. People will pick up on it eventually, and it's possible that their neurons might start mirroring yours and they become more positive just for that. Sometimes it's the case that if you can escape negative people and negativity, sometimes you just have to do that. I am in a situation where I have just had to completely cut off any conversation with somebody other than that is mandatory. So I have two particular people in my life right now who are perpetually negative, and I can't completely cut them out of my life. So, what I've had to do is cut all conversation down to a conversation that we must have. And if there is anything said outside of that is negative, I just don't respond. I don't make a facial expression, which is really hard for an expressive person. I don't make a facial expression. I don't comment on it. I just keep going. And if there's something positive said, then I reinforce the positivity. But if there's something negative said, I just don't acknowledge it at all. And I go out of my way to just, I will go the other way just to avoid being in those situations because I really, really take extra effort to guard my positive energy because I don't want to reflect anybody's negativity. So, not a lot of advice in this one, just kind of feeding back some of the stuff that's been going on in my life. Maybe something that could help you introverts out that are recharging off of other people's energy. Be careful, guard your energy because you really can soak in the energy of others. If you're an energy worker or if you're a healer or a therapist, somebody who has to deal with people a lot, especially negative energy, make sure that you meditate and ground yourself before. Send your core of you into the earth, and then send all that negative energy back into the core of the earth, and to go ahead and flush it out of you after every interaction with negative people, because holding that negative energy in you actually can cause disease. So, anyways, that's all. Nothing really to say today. Something and nothing. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed the beautiful coming of the day here with me in Yangon, Myanmar. Sending you love, light, peace, and joy, you beautiful people. I'll see you next time. Kamina the Koach, signing out.